suddenly gone lame, or the white folks are finally quiet your game. Get them signs that you don't really know. That's the same thing they said about us a long time ago. You know, I put one more suggestion before I get out of your way. But I appreciate your respect you give me and what you got to say. I'm saying protect your community and spread that respect around. Tell brothers and sisters they got to calm that bullshit down. So we can terrorize our old folks and fuck clear into our home. And they ain't got to hang out with the senior citizens. Just tell them, damn it, just leave the old folks alone. And we know we've been off the neighborhood telling their BS we got to stop. So you sorry they can't handle it out there, but they got to take the crime off the block. And they look at you like you think you're insane or start calling you scarecrow thinking you ain't got no brain. You know, start telling folks that you've gone lame or that white folks have suddenly co-opted your game. Or worse yet, saying that you really don't know. That's the same thing they said about me a long time ago. And if they tell folks that you finally lost your nerve, that's the same thing they said about us when we said you had it third. I think you young folks need to know things both ways. You can't talk respect on every other song or just every other day. What I'm speaking on now is raps about women folks. On one song, she's your African queen, and on the next one, she's a joke. You ain't said no words that I haven't heard, but that ain't no man. It only insult people out of 10 and question your intelligence.
Let them know, bring me in whenever they're ready.
The words won't make your voice. It will only magnify how shallow you are, and let everybody know it. They look at you like they think you're insane, or they call you scarecrow thinking you ain't got no brain, or start telling folks that you suddenly gone lame, or that the white folks have finally go out of your game, or you really don't know. They said that about me a long time ago.
Thank you. I'm honored to serve. Let me know if y'all can hear me all right also. Instagram. I don't know if I'm on Facebook or not. I can't get on Facebook right now. I don't have the Wi-Fi. Someone check my Facebook page, see if I'm on Facebook also. Free them all. I look good, right on, right on. Someone to check my Facebook. I'm good on YouTube, right on. Put a post. If I'm not on Facebook, let people know to please go on YouTube. Chairman Fred Jr. Live. Chairman Fred Jr.
Unmuted.
Heads up, eyes open, the fist clench. Y'all know who this is. The making this, take this, and take this. Let's get locked and loaded for another episode of Free MR Radio, y'all. Again, let's get locked and loaded for another episode of Free MR Radio. Call the number 929-477-3785. Press 1 to be tapped in with us. Moving and grooving. Y'all bear with me, man. It's been a unusual, a rough day, but we're gonna make history, take history, and tape history, y'all. Not that calling up in. We got some updates for you. We're gonna be moving and grooving. If you have an issue with crossing certain geographical borderlines, this might not be the ride for you, because again, we're not set tripping. We may stop in Ghana, maybe behind the walls of Wunmi Jamal, the C numbers, the infamous Cook County Jail, Ohio, New Orleans, Louisiana, New Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So we moving and grooving in the spirit of internationalism. Right on. See y'all tapping in with us, my sister, right on Free 'em All. Locked and loaded. There you go. Help me out, Sister Hollywood. I know you got a lot of social media expertise. If you can tap in and make sure to get on Facebook. Paris, I don't know if you tapped in yet. Make sure to get on Facebook. Somebody tag my page on Facebook. Y'all's kids, right on. Salute right back at y'all, man. Love, respect, right on. Mr. Checkpoint, Free 'em All. See everybody tapping in with us, y'all. We're gonna be moving and grooving, touching on a number of topics today, y'all. So again, lock that number in. You know that number about hard about now. 929-477-3785 is your press 1 to get in. As you may notice, we're not in the studio today. We are literally out in the office, out of our office, and with one of the mantras of the Black Panther Party Cubs is, the streets are our office, our work hours are 24 hours a day. Yes, I look forward. Yeah, we're gonna try to make it happen. Right on. I look forward to get back on the red in South Dakota. Revolutionary love, respect, no doubt about it. We still Have not come down from that the inspiration to move there. You know, no doubt about it. Looking forward to getting back. No doubt about it. I'm not on Facebook. Okay. As someone, I don't know how this works. If we can get Paris usually, she can tap in. If she's tapped in already or not, to make sure that someone tags my page on Facebook with it, or if not, we just take this from YouTube live and put it on Facebook. So some simple reason she taps in. You share it's on Facebook. Okay, right on. Perfect. And y'all bear with us, or as we say, cub with us. So I guess some horses supposed to be bringing us some nutrition back in a minute. So I might got to break up. You know what I'm saying? I haven't broke bread yet, but that's in other words, haven't eaten yet. We've been moving nonstop. Let's start off with the work our way up. We're gonna be touching on. We're gonna be breaking the ice with a few subject matters that we're gonna be working on in the upcoming weeks. February 28th. Well, first let me say this. We want to struggle to up the ante. You know what I'm saying? Our history, our people is internalized, and the significance of that is internalized every day. But in the meantime, between time, with this being what they refer to as Black History Month, we want to seize the time. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of gives like a green light for some people to acknowledge, that the integral role the African people, you know what I'm saying, particularly, here in the U.S. have played. So feel free to tap in different, updates or information that people may not be familiar with, you know what I'm saying, dropping in. You may want to call in your assessment on the Grammys. Do not feel limited by just what we have on the flyer to this, for the subject matter to be discussed. That's a template, but again, everything is political. Everything is political. No. Free them all. I'm good. Let me go. I'm on the radio right now. I'm on the show right now. Don't worry about it. Free them all. I know I got to call back now because my volume has been going out. I know it. Can y'all hear me still? Right on Instagram. I know you can't hear me now. Once you call the phone, I lose my volume. Can you hear me now? Anyone can hear me? Can you still hear me on Instagram? Let me know if you can hear me. I might start back over. I know. Once I get a phone call on Instagram, my volume is gone. So I'm gonna call back in. Free them all. Bear with us, y'all. Cub with us. Give us a few minutes. No calls on the phone on Wednesday, 6:30 to 8:30. Like people say on Easter Sunday with their thing, man. Now I'm give a few minutes for people to get back in on Instagram. Cause once a phone call comes in, whether I answer or not, I lose all volume. We working to get to that stage in the game. We have everything technically set up, studio, everything, but we working for that. We working for a revolutionary climate where things fall in sync. In other words, it's a revolutionary climate, like it's a dynamic, like you have certain organizations, they know on certain days how to move, the eco, works in, oh man, yeah, okay, yeah. Now we're gonna make a major thing on this here. 1 second, y'all. Yes. Come on, I ain't got time to major minors. They won't know they get died. Okay, all right. Let's okay. Can y'all still hear me on Instagram Live? Let me know if you can still hear me. Give me a heads up if you can still hear me. Oregon. Send us the information. For those who've been sending information, forgive us. We've not been getting back to you. We answering our mail. We're trying to tighten up the Save the Hampton House at gmail.com. Who just in Oregon? If you can send that request, damn. Oh, my fault. Excuse me. 1 second, please. Excuse me 1 second. Man. Y'all forgive me. I'm trying to multitask around here, y'all. Y'all forgive me. I'm trying. I'm a panther cub trying to be like an octopus, do 8 things at one time. Forgive me. Okay. For the Oregon event, if you can email chairmanfredspeaks@gmail.com, and we're gonna try to get back to you ASAP. chairmanfredspeaks@gmail.com. A lot of people say, Chairman, you didn't make it to this event or you was late. I say, I want you to hang with us for a day in my office. And I'm working on doing like a reality show. You know what I'm saying? Because, can't say, I'm saying this, I ain't crying the blues, ain't no music playing. A sister said to me the other day, she said, I take issue, Chairman, when you reference yourself as the last call for alcohol. She said, we respect you, we appreciate you, our leadership. And I said, I appreciate that. But the reality is, the objective reality is, I study our people also. Certain conditions have to be ripe for people, to relate to, such forces as myself. And it's no indictment on myself. It's nothing that, the revolution, this is not, and I'm not talking about me as an individual, revolutionaries. And you look historically, you may see sound bites, and you may see pictures from different revolutionary periods, whether it be in Africa, whether it be in Korea, Vietnam. You'll say, oh man, this ain't gonna work for me today. Yes, sir, brother. Yes.
Yeah, Chairman. So there's no tacos on your order. Do you want them to take off the chips?
Yeah, take off whatever you gotta take off, brother. Take off just to make whatever we got enough resources for. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
All right. Bye.
I have to start back over on Instagram. Yes. Bear with us. Turner, let me be consistent. Most organizations, most walks of life, whether it be your church, whatever religious institution you're dealing with, there could be more of a consistent flow. We talk about the Black Panther Party. You have to, even talking about the contradictions within the Black Panther Party. You look at the timeline they were able to exist. Go look at in Chicago in 1969 alone, the attacks they were subjected to. You look at forces coming in, and by the time certain forces learn the roll call or how to move in the revolutionary organization, they getting locked up. You got to bring in new forces. You got to train in new forces. You feel what I'm saying? The time period. You know what I'm saying? The turn is like a relationship. You say, man, some people in relationships say they want to break up with their wife or their husband, even though it's bad. People say why? Because they finally got like a rhythm. You know what I'm saying, with their children. They get like a feel on the pros and cons of the relationship. Most revolutionary organizations is deprived of that. Because soon it's constant. You got to deal with forces, and you not just got to move on a pivot. You got to grab forces who just who come in. Idealistic as what people as it is. We want to believe that everybody come in, they love the struggle, but the reality is people get involved in struggle one of three ways: inspiration, aspiration, and desperation. Excuse me, inspiration, aspiration, or desperation. And like one of the things, like even one campaign, like even with the Save the Hampton House, if you're outside looking in, you say, well, why has the renovation has not happened yet? You have to keep in mind we steady, dealing with different campaigns, and you don't going to be a reactionary or get called ambulance chasing, but you got to be able to be right there because people, that vanguard has to be consistent. And even when other people go on their lifetime, you know what I'm saying, they celebrating their PPP loans, they got relationships, their child graduation, whatever the case may be. The vanguard, you know what I'm saying, I got people who get up to, they even hear I'm sick. They be like, whoa, what? You got this, kind of keep, you know what I'm saying? So we can't talk the ball. I'm not crying the blues, but just I got to say this to even remind myself, because a lot of times you talk about revolution is complete change. Complete change. And that means even the concept is one thing to do security or deal with economics. In the bourgeoisie sense, there's a different dynamic, a different politic that comes with revolutionary organization. You know what I'm saying? It's the way relationship. Like many people, y'all may see us say, I post revolutionary love and respect. The up the ante on what do we view love and respect? You know what I'm saying? A different, not in a conventional way, the way the ruling class is giving you the way that you can move, even the way we organize. Most people have been taught by, by some state-sanctioned entity. So, the same entity that's oppressing them that tells them, this is how you fight. This is how you deal with me. We come with a different dynamic. It's the way we struggle, the way we deal with contradictions. In many cases, you don't see the benefit of it right then. But the politics is a protracted struggle. You can see the long-range effect. You can look at the impact for generations. Look at Tupac and put him in contrast to just in hip-hop alone. You know what I'm saying? That go back and look at the video when Pac was a youngster, 13, 14 years old. He didn't even, and I related to him, he didn't even say the word, he couldn't even say the word bitch. He was saying, I say most friends of mine. He say the women. He say the girls. He say I don't call them bees and he was saying how that it impacted him to have relationships because the deal was his mother come right to court and say Pac needed organization and organization needed Pac, but also he was deprived of that period. It was a revolutionary climate. Where it was an understanding of what an athlete, come into the struggle, different how you view relationships, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't this, this conventional thing, like it was an understanding that, man, how a person may be vamped on the day of tomorrow, and I'll say vamped on, locked up, how we view prisoners. It was a climate in the 60s where children would hold their chest up and say, this is where your daddy is. My father's in jail. Where's your mother? She's on the run. It was a different way you viewed relationships, contradictions. It was not even a thought in one's head. It was an understanding on who the police were. When even thought of calling, you couldn't even fathom that. I don't care how, like calling the police on each other. You know what I'm saying? There's a different climate. And the ecosystem was set in place with the people. It wasn't even the confusion about who the Vanguard Party was. It wasn't even the thought about, well, I'm doing this the same way, different ways. It was different religious institutions, but it was how they say if you stay in your lane, it's less traffic. It was less car accidents because it was a clarity. This is an artist. This is a revolutionary. This is a religious institution. It was a clarity. One of America's policies is to create chaos and then restore order. I'm gonna be jumping around different places, right? For a minute. This is also upcoming. election period, election time. Electoral politics. Now, I keep struggling with people a lot of times. Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party Cubs. I'll be saying, well, I know you don't do politics. In fact, as ironic, everything, we stress that everything is political. But we distinguish electoral politics from politics. We distinguish that. You dig what I'm saying? Politics is food, clothing, and shelter. What is this thing now? Security, cool down. Make sure y'all stay with me on Blog Talk. How you view it, how you receive it, if you receive it. Electoral politics, you know what I'm saying? We talking about the different dynamics, you know what I'm saying? The local politicians, the national politicians, so on and so forth, you know what I'm saying? But politics trumps that. Politics trumps, you know what I'm saying? This is some of the discussion of economics, you know what I'm saying? Now, electoral politics, in certain arenas, it's a phenomenon, certain stages in the game. I usually, and that was a request brought to me years ago by even running for electoral office in Chicago. I said, whoa, it's too cutthroat. In fact, Frank Sinatra said, it's this kind of town. Gangster, talking about Chicago. We talk about Chicago's history with the infamous Daley Machine, to Mayor Richard Daley Sr. And I usually hold back from it because it's like it's a climate where it breeds a certain, like I said, like a cocky from a complex. A lot of people, they get, they go overboard, they get extra, like, what you doing? I remember some years ago, our sister was on a talk show, and at the time it was a question, and I didn't vote. I didn't vote like many occasions, and she said, "How can he not vote? That's Fred Hampton's son," and she was, at the time she was running for office. This was about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and I remember saying, we on this consistently, consistent basis, and in fact, we had issued the term "vote or die" when there was an arrogance by the ruling class and those who work in the interest of the ruling class, the Puffy Combs and the likes. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Bill Clinton. I forget who was running for office, and these were entertainers, artists that came out with an arrogance who never said nothing, made it clear they weren't touching no tangible issues in our community. All of a sudden, these pop-up stores, these pop-up artists were put in front of us, say, either you gonna vote or die. You shouldn't hold that position in a relationship. If a woman don't go out with somebody, or a man, and she just say, well, she going out with somebody, it should not be a foregone conclusion. In fact, we flip the script. What is their position on reparations, political prisoners? You know what I'm saying? The African Anti-Terrorism Bill. And a lot of people say, well, black people don't, you know what I'm saying, or when Obama ran, we never came here with a platform. If you can't see some basic issues addressed with black people just from the outside looking in, basic, at minimum, that's a disconnect. But but right now, it's coming up, and we're gonna be breaking ice, because there's some serious, time, like I say, even, we can either take different, the Vanguard can say, either we're gonna lay back on our laurels and say, okay, now we've been saying this, y'all gotta hear us. In many cases, a lot of these contradictions, really, the train has left the building. So it's close to. In other words, contradictions such as the fentanyl, what I'm saying, the chemical biological warfare that's flooding through our community. We're going to do a show on that in particular. The cartel's presence that people have been denied, they don't want to talk about, what I'm saying, in Chicago, what I'm saying, and how it's connected. How it's connected to electoral politics. See, politics, you just can't nothing operates as an isolated entity. So we go back and look and be consistent. We've been talking about these different contradictions, but there's some elections happening in Chicago that, if nothing else, going to help document and heighten some contradictions. So we're going to be having a show before February 28th talking about different candidates. You can pull the clip on WVON the other day, and the sister, the show on VON, P. Ray, the sister show. And I was struggling to be objective, as I always try to be, as we always try to be. Because a lot of times, black people are trivialized to get caught with this discussion about who you like personally. Nothing should be there. It should be, no entity. It shouldn't be a discussion, even with, that the stakes are too high for what policies, what programs, what position do these people take? The stakes are too high to engage in these elementary discussions as Hillary Clinton can go on a Breakfast Club and pull out a bottle of hot sauce and they put, you know what I'm saying, win the black vote. Or they can, these politicians just can throw, you know what I'm saying, can throw a gospel song or a rap lyric out and say, oh yeah, they down. Or President Obama, U.S. President Obama can sing an Al Green lyric. You know what I'm saying? Other communities talking about tangible you don't hear a big discussion within the Chinese community, but you see the political power that they hold. They hold. You know what I'm saying? You go through certain places that you know what I'm saying, you seen what happened. I say political power when the stores broke in, the carjacking in Chinatown. You seen the response. You feel what I'm saying? So that you see the other communities when certain things you see up north at Comiskey Stadium, the Cubs play baseball when the White Lady's purse was stolen. You feel what I'm saying? You see the response. You see how the media depicts certain communities. You feel what I'm saying? And you go back and say, wait a minute, is it just certain individuals that represent? These can play a role, but the politics transcends just that of the booth. However, it's a stage in the game where that discussion, you know what I'm saying, that discussion is being heightened now. And a lot of people say, well, I don't listen to hip hop. Well, I don't talk about electoral politics. But the deal is nothing can be the church, the mosque. There can be no neutral zones, no neutral zone. This you know, the ante has to be up. There is a discussion happening in every arena. And politics, now the deal is certain things will not be articulated, laid out for you. In other words, other communities, they will tell them, okay, this is called a propaganda bomb. Other communities, they will say this is chemical biological warfare. With us, they would call it Love the Hip Hop shows. With us, they'll call it Future just dropped a new song. Our political muscle and will has to be tightened up. That we don't need the ruling class to define and say, okay, this is the fentanyl is knocking y'all off. You know what I'm saying? See, there's a climb in the 60s where the Black Panther Party said, we don't need Mayor Daley or City Hall or the ruling class to validate my relationship. We said this is my wife, so you know what I'm saying, this is what it is. There's a climate where the Black Panther Party said, we don't need the CDC to say the Deputy Minister of Health, Ron Doc Satchel, Deputy Minister of Health for the Black Panther Party. We didn't need, you know what I'm saying, the Army to say the Minister of Defense is the Minister of Defense or some great, or some thinker from West Point to say this is a genius. It was the climate was up, the ante was upped. We, you know what I'm saying, define certain comedic geniuses, Richard Pryor, on our own terms. Since we're not at that stage in the game, which we're fighting to, we got to utilize these various tools, you know what I'm saying, or at least, you know what I'm saying, bring them out. We live and direct on Freedom On Radio, y'all. In the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. Call in 929-477-3785 and press 1. Got a couple of guests coming in here, calling in, as well as going to be live in here with us, y'all. Y'all, while I'm talking, before I get to the case of Jonathan Strickland, New Mexico. Look at me, March 11, 2021. What occurred, what happened to him, you did, and we say the state, the status of it now, put it in a climate. A lot of people couldn't believe it then, but you know what I'm saying, put it in context what happened down with Tyree Nichols, you know what I'm saying? And these are not aberrations. Jacob Blake, go look at the case of Jacob Blake, you know what I'm saying? Say, wait a minute. You know, this is too much to be happening for them. Saying this is again protocol police terrorism, protocol. In other words, this is the modus operandi. Top of the flyer today. Top of the flyer. We try to put a Panther Cub pill in applesauce. A Panther Cub pill in applesauce. A lot of people was calling. Did you see the show? Eddie Murphy got on the shirt say the police. It's not the police. They murdered Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton was murdered. Now, pros and cons of that. A lot of people say, what's your position on the chairman? Again, there's no gift wrap revolution. And first of all, let me put it in context, because I got the opportunity to see inside the sausage factory, the inner workings of the politics of, you know what I'm saying, movie making, so on. And before that, I had a basic understanding. I studied history, you know what I'm saying? And I studied how Minister U.E.P. Newton dealt with the movie The Mac, how you got certain dynamics in there, certain concessions, you know what I'm saying? How the relationship the Minister U.E.P. Newton had with Melvin Van Peebles, the elder, how that impacted him for generations to come. When they were trying to do the movie Panther, they were so arrogant, the movie industry. They actually told the Van Peebles that a white man, in fact, they had Tom Cruise slated to portray Minister U.E.P. Newton. and that people's that still impact on him, respect and reverence for Minister Huey P. Newton. Says so they can't go. That's what we do. We put moves that will stick with you, generations to come, whether you know it or not. Wardrobe is political in the movie set. There were certain scenes, there were certain times we had different struggles about, whoa, this, even like the O'Neill's leather jacket, Chairman's T-shirt, how it looked, all and stuff that the naked eye makes it so it's no big deal. How your body language, who comes in where, who holds the gun first, so on and so forth. So a lot of people want to think Eddie Murphy done this great. The wardrobe and certain people they have to go to such an extent to push this. In the movie, we're talking about is you people, and they're setting the stage, and you can see the inconsistencies, like even the variations of reference him from the Nation of Islam to Sunni Muslim, and a lot of times people say you'll be surprised on who those who behind the scenes, the lack of information or knowledge they even have about our particular cultures. They don't know the difference. Believe me. A lot of people think it's such a lack of, it's like a person who has dogs who don't care about dogs. You be like, what is that? I don't know, dog, pigeon, poodle. It's a dog. They have to, don't know the distinguishment, you know, so the different dynamics. And then they get us to go along with this, don't make a difference, we all the same. No, structure. To this, you know, because one thing, something that may be a contradiction for one community is not a contradiction for another community. And that's not a bad thing to say. I know we don't say that. We don't acknowledge differences. In India, with two men walking hand in hand down the street, that's seen as a different dynamic in the community. Now, a lot of people say, you should say, no, that's a reality. And the deal is, once you destroy your identity, a structure, certain things that work in sync, there's a thing named John Boyega, actor. They went at him full force for simply saying he simply dates black women. They went at him for just saying that. He didn't say he had nothing against white women. He just said he dated black women. And we're to say that. It should not be an issue for someone to say, my particular tribe or my particular side of town, like someone you can relate to, something in common with. Because it may be some dynamics, whether we're talking about the food or one culture may do something to you that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That may not be disrespectful in another community. And when you have a community, the ego, it works that way. When you open, you go along this ideal, you sip on this snake oil that they can't sell to nobody. They say, okay, here you go, we all the same. You go to the doctor with certain things, say, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying, what is the illness? You look at the physical makeup in different communities. They talk about even the nostrils. The nostrils, how it's built come from the history of certain people, taking into account the weather, the climate, all of this. That's the ecosystem, the politics, certain foods. That was certain amount of native people, indigenous people, who died simply from coming into contact with white folks. I'm talking about simply from coming in contact with us. It's certain that's coming into contact. I'm not talking about the intentional. You know what I'm saying? It's certain dynamics of culture clashes. And you know what I'm saying? They can be not only, I mean, they're not just antagonistic, can be detrimental. Let's know we're talking about relationships. So back to the question. So we say, okay, let's go, the seize of time. And even the title, you know what I'm saying? We say Chairman Frey, it's not an ego tripping. It's to put in context that we're a structured organization. So we slipping that up in there right now. And also, you have to be honest, because this safe, palatable person really has, no doubt, Eddie Murphy. People can take that name and acknowledge that he was murdered, but assassinated from Eddie Murphy. It's a certain, sometimes it's not a fair exchange, but there are certain forces who people got to hear it from. You can say, and people say, Chairman, you be kind of going so hard, and people make up all excuses. The judge I said, no, the reality is, and it's true in certain things, certain discussions, that, you know what I'm saying, when you're being colonized, even the tone, who says it, and a lot of people cannot hear from black people. In fact, I tell black people learn best through either them telling themselves or white folks telling them. That's a reality. That's right. So that's why we try to heighten the contradictions. So we're not telling you. That's what people talk about that term servant as opposed to your leader. Because we take into account the damage. Because in so many cases, the ruling class, one of its Machiavellian tactics is giving you the most damaged representatives of quote-unquote leadership. Why do you think after the military defeated the Black Power movement in the 60s, throughout different cities, the black metropolis, they gave those corrupt individuals? So your first concept with these corrupt dynamics. Why do you think a lot of women have issues with black men? Their first concept. Invite a lot of black men, young men with black females. Their first concept. It's the training process. You give them a bad result. You dealing absolute because you come in all cases. I told a lieutenant in Stateville Prison, Stateville concentration camp. He had a whole crew of Negroes. I said to him, they were Lieutenant Luther Manning, Captain Luther Manning. A beat-down crew. All Negroes, one white guard with them. They notorious. They would pop your door. Oh, for the record, men and women. Male and female. Let me say that. Male and female. The politics transcends gender, generational, and geographical lines. Generational, and geographical lines. Yeah. Some negress has said to me that, explained to me how the mother of Tyrese Nichols and the lieutenant, captain, chief of police in Memphis, this is women. She didn't say black women. As women, they have to deal with this because men are the problem. She said, it was black men. I said, well, dig this. Does anything with the black chief of police being trained by Israel, by Israeli troops, is that the politics of a person? See, your politics, I'll tell somebody about colonize. When you colonize, you can have what you want to have. What's the man and your definitions of beauty, or, you know what I'm saying, what you aspire to, your codes, all that, to another entity. Back to I forget why I was on my point on that, but I done broke the ice on a few things, y'all. Let's open up for calls. 929-477-3785. Press 1.
Fremont, Brother Chairman.
Fremont, comrade.
We have Gloria Williams on the line.
Yes, indeed, Fremont. Welcome to Fremont Radio, my sister Gloria Williams. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you, Fred? How about yourself?
I'm doing well on this end.
Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. Now, some of family, the family members. I don't want to do your introduction for you, but you're in Inglewood neighborhood, correct? West Inglewood. Let me say something about that, yo. For those, I'm sure other communities are going through something similar. They cutting these different you get these different divisions of land. It's like like you go back and like you think would be a side of beef, and you come and say, wait, the beef is cut down smaller. What's going on? Inglewood, it's a big thing. They say from Chicago and California, it's Inglewood, the E or Inglewood, the I. This is one of the largest automatic wards in the particular black community for a while. Now for her to say West Inglewood, we want to talk about that. What's the distinguishment with that? What's going on? And this stuff is happening right up under our eyes. These different, the division and how it. And probably say, well, it don't make a difference. You hear these different name changes. Say, wait a minute, that's not Logan Square. That's not North Lawndale. That's not this. You start hearing these different name changes from different areas, and you start like even the zip codes. But this is connected to different. Electoral wards, who can vote where, you know what I'm saying? What services there? Like there's certain entities that, you know what I'm saying, like it's a big discussion on 630 and Halsted with Whole Foods is not there no more, and the Save-A-Lot is put there. So you look at the different wards there. So wait a minute, what's certain things? In fact, a police has said one time in the area known as what's Tilden? Tilden, is that still Bridgeport or Canaryville? What is that? Is it? I forgot. Is it?
Bridgeport is connected to Canaryville.
So
zone Canaryville out, because it normally would be connected a portion of the end part of Bridgeport, then it goes into Canaryville. So
And-
it's right off the 47th and Halsted from 43rd to 43rd, Wallace, all the way over to the Princeton, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't go over to the Viaduct.
Yeah.
It goes from 43rd to 49th Street. That's all Canaryville.
Someone is. I remember. You kind of breaking up too, aren't you? Oh, okay, hold on. I hear you. You kind of breaking up a little bit. Let me hear you again.
Okay, so Canaryville starts at 43rd Street, right off of Homestead, and it goes all the way. I think that Princeton, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, Glenn is on the line too, so
Okay.
I think it's Vada, before you cross over to go to it's not Princeton, I think it's Wallace.
Okay. Tell us who you are and how you fit in with this whole discussion. And brother, and Glenn can jump in whenever you like to. Also, welcome both of y'all.
So I think she got to let him in.
Okay. What's his first? He gotta make sure he press 1 if he can hear us. Press 1. Make sure you press 1. And what?
You on?
Are you on, Glenn?
My name is Gloria Williams.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Gloria Williams. I am a candidate that's running for the 15th ward. I'm running against Raymond Lopez, who is the sitting alderman now. The reason why I'm running is because he can hear you, Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you hear him, Fred?
Welcome, brother.
Okay.
Welcome.
How you doing, Chairman?
I'm well on this end, brother. Welcome out with. Welcome.
Yes. You was discussing the boundaries of the new 15th ward.
Okay.
Yes, it cuts in and out of 43rd. Actually 44th Street.
Mm.
And like one block covers 43rd Street over there near Union and Wallace, Emerald, and it switches up to 47th Street. It backs in and out. They really cut the ward up for the 15th ward to extend over to Wallace on the lower numbers as far as the 40 is really outrageous. They kept the extension goes over to along 47th Street over to Rockwell. Now the current alderman Raymond Lopez, who has been the alderman for the 15th ward for 8 years, and there has not been any economical developments at all. Nothing. His main objective was to tear down buildings, make vacant lots. Now, mind you, in this area, a lot of those buildings could have been rehab. There could have been a program to get the young kids off the streets to show them, or come in with a program and use those houses as a teaching ground. And rehab them and to put in families and make the area viable again. Because with vacant lots, you have no voters, you have no tax base, all that's gone once you have vacant lots.
Yes.
All that stuff is gone.
Yeah.
And it loops around, and what really is crazy is how they looped around and they expanded the 16th ward. Now it goes ins and out, and the West Inglewood part sits in the middle of the 16th ward. It has a little Gage Park, back of the yard, Canaryville, all these different groups, ethnic groups. It's okay, that's which I can understand fine, but you shouldn't have it. The ward should be drawn up to where it ins and out, stretches along. What it looks like is that
It took all the bad areas
Yes.
of the 11th Ward, the 12th Ward, 13th Ward, the 16th Ward, the 20th Ward, and they stuck them all into the 15th Ward. And, I mean, for the boundaries to be like that, all that depends upon the, I'm not sure the name of the alderman
Yes.
that does the mapping,
Yes.
but it's like they you know, they didn't do a favor for 15 Ward.
Yes. Yeah.
Otherwise, what they did was let their friends pick the sections that they wanted, and all the bad sections.
Yes.
Well, we'll stick it over in 15 because there's always been a fight in the 15th Ward.
Okay.
And so
Let me.
with that, and like again, my sister's running.
Yes.
And we hope that we can get a lot of the black voters to turn out and to support her. Hopefully to get into a runoff. The area is changing. We're getting a lot of Hispanic voters in, a lot of Hispanic neighbors, which, I mean, nobody can tell somebody that you can't have a better life. Nobody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a better life. Like when we migrated from the South, everybody wanted a better life. So that's something that we have to deal with. And hopefully, as they say, we all can get along. But that's another road to travel.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Gloria start talking now.
Yes.
She has a couple things to say.
Right on. Thank you, my brother. I want to add, after you speak, I want to tap in with you about give a little more. I want to add to it, like when people that were like the bad parts of the war. I really want to add on with that with you also. But Gloria, the floor is yours.
Well, exactly what my brother said. They just, the war is very gerrymandered, and we have various different cultures within it in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fight, it's a battle that you're trying to win, run this race because I got different cultures within the community.
Yes.
And it's very doable that I can win.
Yes.
Because the reason why I say that, because a lot of individuals in these gerrymandered areas know me. They know my work. They know when I do something, I complete the job. I have a lot of respect because they know who I am. They know that I fight for the people no matter what they are. They know I'm out there fighting. So they want somebody down in city council who understands the issues and concerns of the community. Because why? Because I'm in the trenches. I'm talking and listening and walking with these individuals, helping them out with guys that have ex-offenders, criminal background, leading them to where they can get a job. Those that want a GED, lead them to resources in the neighborhood that they can go get their GED. I did 65 emergency rental assistance programs for those to get their rent paid, light and gas during the pandemic. We got several young youth, LGBTQ population that's within our community. Connect them with Harlan's Alliance where they can get their medication. They can go and take we got homeless people that can go take a shower, get your clothes washed, see the doctor in the process. And in that, they also helping them find housing. So I was part of that steering committee when they were closing down the schools in the greater Inglewood area. And I'm fighting for Harbor High School, Earl, John Hope, as well as Robertson. But we didn't win because we was outnumbered. Then Old Food came along. I was a very strong instrumental in them hiring 43 ex-offenders because their policies would not allow anyone to get hired with a criminal background. But they went back and changed that. Now we in the battle of Save-A-Lot that's coming into the community.
Mm-hmm.
And if the community does not want Save-A-Lot in the neighborhood. So I'm out in the trenches walking and talking and addressing the issue. So I am the better candidate because I've been here since 1970. Even the city and all of he only been here 8 years, and the young lady, the other candidate, she only been here 2 years. So I understand the issues and concerns of the 15 wards being disinvested. This is the reason why I'm running. I'm running for the people because I am the people.
Question.
And the voice for those people that
Question. Some of those who follow me on social media, we attempt to be as objective as we as possible. But they've seen some of the issues that we've even raised in regards to the current alderman. Ranging from the historical. I need them to come on in. They have a seat in a minute. What they refer to as the old folks or the event, the annual event that's every year in Inglewood, 59th and the Hermitage Park, and the seat.
neighborhood reunion. That's the neighborhood reunion.
Neighborhood reunion, which sticks in the. I need y'all to be quiet back there, brothers. The annual event, which for generations, you know what I'm saying? People, I had to come back in town because people said, "Man, where you at?" Chairman's going down, and something annually that people get updates from grammar school, and it's one of the few things that we have that the community comes around. And I recall this situation where Alderman Lopez was literally, it was day after, and like a piece of literally a paper bag or something. He was trying to use this to justify stopping this annual event. This is something we everybody come out, and I remember raising an issue about that, and some outside people on the outside may look like don't in Chicago and Southside and Inglewood in particular. This is a mainstay of Inglewood people. You know what I'm saying? With the steppers, all the different people come out. So they come together, and I remember the arrogance of him challenging that, and even some issues, and it's a arrogance that I've seen, like even with his, from his own respect, he exercised with his own respect to the community. I can't recall what it was with the Spanish-speaking community, the Mexicano community in particular, on 40th and Justine. There was something that occurred, and so they had to raise up, expose some things with him. But he had it's some more things that I don't want to go into the long thing, but it's some more things. But
So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, Fred.
Can I come in?
So here's the thing. Hold on, man. So, okay, go ahead, on Grant.
Well, to backtrack, for the neighborhood reunion,
Yes.
Again, our family been involved with that for over 30, 40 years.
Right.
And that annual picnic, we do pass out food for those that come to visit, don't have money. The area has a lot of people in there that's, on drugs, you know what I'm saying, and just no money. And they want to have a good time too.
Yeah.
So what my family has been doing for over 30-some years was we was providing free food, sometimes beverages, beer, because when you come to a picnic, you want to have a good time, and just to have people walking around. Hey, can I get a sandwich here? Can I get a sandwich there? Can I get a piece of meat there? We started giving away food so that everybody can have a good time.
Oh, so your family, right on. Yes.
People come in from it was going on for years, and one particular year, after the picnic, we cleaned up, we have crews that come by to pick up and garbage. So we placed the garbage all over near the field house, and that particular night, it was a high wind, and there was people running through the trash. And so when they're running through the trash for those cans, they pulling stuff out and not putting stuff back in the bag, and some blew all over the park. It wasn't our fault because we made sure it was clean.
Yes.
What it was, the park district would have came and emptied their trash, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And he came by and seen the trash, and immediately he insulted
Yeah.
the 59th Street neighborhood reunion. calling us all kind of names.
Yes.
Guilty this and that. It was, I mean, it was on Facebook. Put it out on Facebook.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we fought and fought and fought to try to tell him that wasn't us. We cleaned up. For 30-some years, we never had a problem at the park. That particular
Yes.
high winds, and then people saw guys running through the grass looking for cans.
Yes.
And he tried to put a bosh on that. He tried to set a some kind of event based upon the alderman. He went downtown. He got involved with the park district, and because he's an alderman, you know, they was leaning towards him because we're just the neighborhood. People come in from out of town. It was a beautiful event. Everybody looked forward for that event, and he tried to stop it. My sister, she went to hell and high water so that we can get that event to go off. Even the park district got strict. They had police out there monitoring us like criminals, and all we were doing was just trying to have a good time. Like most communities have some kind of neighborhood reunion. You know, Washington Park, West Side, Garden Park.
Yes.
Everybody have a reunion just for the people to come back to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's been there for years, left, gone, come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
To see people, you know, people pass away. That is one of the best things that we have.
Yes. Yeah.
And we try to put a bottom on it. Even knowing that the long standing of good faith we had in that park, that's what he set out to really make it difficult, but through my sister and her confidence and her effort, we was able to continue that. And hopefully, if we can get him out of office, we won't have to deal with him trying to put a box on what we do.
Yeah, so exactly what is stated. I fought for that. Use my political contacts to go over his head to get things, you know, so we can continue to have that neighborhood reunion. And people actually enjoy that. We don't have no violence, no shooting, no nothing. Everybody's collaborating with each other, playing their music, playing cards, whatever it is. So that's a positive thing that goes on in the community. So when I become all, I'm going to do more positive events because we need to engage more and get to know our neighbors like we used to know them when we were little kids. And create different programs for the kids. Like we used to play softball against each other on different blocks. You remember that, Fred? We used to play softball with one another in the community. So bringing some of those events back into the community, that is very lacking because we don't even have a community center.
No.
So who do our kids have to look up? So I spoke with a young man who went to school with me. We got a boxing shack. And I said, hey, I would like you to come and train some of these kids. He said, girl, I would love to do that. But he's a Hispanic guy. He went to school. He said, I would love to come over there in Inglewood and train some of those kids to box. He said, I got some guys that came from Inglewood have won various titles. He said, I would love to come over there and train those kids in this way. It would discipline a lot of those kids. It would take their mind away from the negativity that they see out there in the street. And not only they would get to travel along with him to different fights and meet some of those individuals who have won a belt. So I'm connecting with different people so I can bring these resources back to my community. Not only that, always a abandoned storefront is where I want to allow some of the residents to start their own business so we can generate our own money and let the dollar circle around in our own community. So if you want to open up a barbershop, which we got quite a few, but if you want to open up one, you'll be able to. We don't have a shoe shine store. Remember we used to have the people go get their shoes shine. We don't even have a newsstand where people go by the newspapers and the magazines. We don't even have a deep cleaner. Or we can go and take our clothes clean. We have to go outside of our community. So if I allow these individuals to use this storefront, we don't have a bakery. So Big Mama don't have to keep making all these pies and cakes in her house and do a storefront. Because you have a place where it's big enough and the oven that you can make multiple cakes and pies to sell in the community. So that's one of my goals, to inspire a lot of the young brothers out here to start your own business, entrepreneurship. Then I have a relationship with Cook County Land Bank. Get them to come and purchase some of these properties in our community. You don't want to work? Here's the way you can make your income. Buy property. Utilize the property. You can get that one started, you can buy another. You can be your own boss.
What do you see as some of the pros and cons? Like even with because you mentioned he came in, he was okay. Two questions. I'm gonna close out with these last two questions before we bring our next guest in. First question, I thought he was he was supposed to run for mayor, and all of a sudden backed up out of that. He supposed to back another candidate. He's supposed to run for mayor, then came back last minute with this. Second question, what's the pros and cons about, because I don't know, I'm sure it's common knowledge that he was really literally birthed and backed and brought in by one of the most powerful aldermen in city, Alderman Ed Burke. And I think this who's supposed to be his last term now, who brought him in. And with that being the case, what's the pros and cons with that? You know what I'm saying about him not being, I mean, like technically being backed by the powerful Alderman Ed Burke in this upcoming campaign. So
So here's the deal. See, this is the political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second time he made an announcement that he's running for mayor. And when it gets to time for him to turn in his petition, he turns in the automatic petition because he knows if he's taking the race and he don't win, he don't have a job, for one. And two, he knows by Chewy running in, he's not going to get those Hispanic votes because those Hispanics love Chewy. So they're going to vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. And the reason why they sent him over here because they see 15 wards badly. So that's why they're moving in quickly into our community. So whatever this investment club is that goes down to City Hall and buy up all the properties that's behind taxes on the tax sale, they get those properties.
Sure, right.
I have to find out. I got to get in there and I can stop something and then call those real estate to come in and have a conversation with you. And I'm going to ask you, how many blacks have you sold property to, home to in the community?
Mm-hmm.
You need to sell some of these homes to some of these black residents who wants to come back. There's plenty of blacks who want to move back to Chicago, but they're having such a difficult time getting in, trying to find property, and they get taken through the red tape, and they lose interest.
Right on.
So, getting on the subject, actually fill out what's going on in my community and hold everybody accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to unify the community. It's not just about black. I got a diverse community. I got to address all issues for everyone.
Where could people touch down to like keep updated? You know what I'm saying in regards to the work, your campaign and what's going on in the ward in general, and what's the, like, again, many of our constituents, like I said, this is this is a new discussion for a lot of people talking about even engaging in the electoral political process, and it's kind of buzzing. But do people gonna come out and vote February 28th, or they?
Here's the thing, Fred. This is where we fall short in because we don't get involved into our community. Once you get involved and learn what's going on, you be amazed of what stuff that you don't know. And that's one reason I'm in the community because I'm trying to find out what's going on. So by me finding out, I see the injustice in the process. So I'm notifying everybody, this is what's going on. You need to get involved. So we got to get involved. No matter what, you have to get involved and learn what's going on in your community.
No.
You have to do that or we're going to fall short every time. Now, it's a forum coming up February 16th. And the forum is in the other young lady. We're going to have our debate. And it's going to be in the back of the yard, the 48th in Hermitage.
Where at?
I think it's a Catholic church.
Where?
48th in Hermitage. I will send you it.
Okay.
So, and another thing, it's 16 new aldermen that's coming into the office. No one is bagging these 16 new aldermen. No one decides, but I don't have an endorsement. Nobody endorsed me. So I'm out here fighting this fight, trying to raise money and to get things that I need to get my literature out. But overall, a lot of people know me. They haven't seen my literature because most of my money is used because I was fighting to stay on the petition. And I'm raising money now so I can get my yard sign out. So people can know that I'm still in the game.
Give our listeners.
My young adults, my young brothers and sisters, and Hispanic whoever, if you haven't registered to vote, you have to register to vote. You have to register because there's a low turnout in West Inglewood that blacks don't vote. And that's where we lost the war because it shows that it's 62% Hispanic and 48% black. And I think it's different because we didn't do the census and nor did we vote. We have to bring those numbers up.
Give us a social media contact so people can stay in contact, stay updated.
They can go to GloriaWilliams15.com. That's my website. They can go to my website and they can look at all the things that we've done.
One more time.
They can hit me up when it comes.
One more time, please.
GloriaWilliams15.com.
Right on. Stay with us. We got
Comments, they can write in the comments and let me know what they feel or what they think. Because I'm one thing about it. I'm gonna engage the community. I'm gonna take 45 individuals from each area of the 15 ward, and they're gonna be my community. Because what's going on over there in Connecticut is definitely going on in Bay Park, and in fact, it's in West Inglewood. Because they have issues with Cadillac and Birds, they have shooting, they have problematic problems. The same issues that we have in our community, so there's no difference.
Okay.
We share the same issues and same problems. The certain areas just highlighted more.
Well, stay in contact with us. Like I say, keep us up to speed on the campaign. We here every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Central Time. I may be in town, I may not be. I live out of Suitcase. I'm in studio. You're welcome to come in studio, guest with us. So again, thank you for coming on with us. Any closing comments before we go to our next guest?
Thank you, Fred.
Anytime, my sister. Anytime. We live and direct at Freedom All Radio.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Use you as well, my sister. Brother Glenn as well. Yes, indeed. We live and direct at Freedom All Radio, making history, taking history, taping history. I got somebody from the school board, I think in Harvey or Dawson. I don't know the number. They supposed to be tapped in on the call in right now. So we can bring them in. I want to make sure we get our guests live and direct who we got here now. Luckily, we have them live. We're not taking for granted he is live. Those who are not familiar with the guests going to be coming in with us before we close out. Jonathan Strickland. I'm going to say it right. Las Cruces, New Mexico. Type that in before we bring them on. Luckily, we have them live. You know, we just had a press conference today. It's a newspaper article, but Google that right now. So, comrade, look in the call, look in the queue. See, I don't know the number. Someone from the school board. Y'all press 1.
Fremont, Brother Chairman.
Fremont, comrade.
Fremont. We have Trustee King of the Hammond, Indiana School Board
Hammond, Indiana.
on the line, Fremont.
Thank you, comrade. Fremont. Welcome, Trustee. Welcome to Fremont Radio. I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. coming to you live and direct. This is a weekly radio show in the Black Panther Party Cubs. Welcome.
Good evening. This is Trustee Blake King. Can you hear me?
Well, he's loud and clear.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Great. I've really enjoyed what I've heard thus far. So I'll be calling in regularly. I am Carlotta Blake King, trustee for School City of Hammond. And basically, I want to talk about the systemic breakdown, decline of education, not only throughout this country, but specifically in Hammond, Indiana. I'm serving my second term on this board, and I have watched the decline to my face. I'm the only African American on this board, and I have been shut down, mic turned off, walked out, left me sitting by myself because I take my job seriously, and I am threatened by that. And we have had our public work session last night, where it was revealed, but I already knew, how horrible the test scores were, and how we have failed these children tremendously. Our demographic makeup is probably 90% black and brown children, and you can't make me believe that these black and brown children can't learn. However, we received close to $60 million from the ARR CARES ESSER 2 and 3 funding, and to date, we have yet to use that money for counseling, for classes for our parents, comprehensive tutoring, comprehensive mentoring. I can go on and on and on how we could have used this money to salvage some of these students that failed these test scores. I read, PSAT, and our graduation rate last year was 66.6%, and the state norm is 80%. So, you know, we got to get involved. It's extremely hard for me to get folks involved here in Hammond. One excuse after the other, but yet I can't do it by myself. When they elected me, I felt like I was Obama.
So I'm on a radio show.
I'm going to serve you because I know who I serve and why I serve. However, I can't do it alone. When I attend these school board meetings and there is no one in the audience looking like me,
I can't tell you, so I'm doing a radio show right now.
But again, it's about me. It's about these children that are not getting a quality education. And mostly, I am aware now that in Westville, Indiana, they are currently in the process of planning to build a 4,200-bed prison, and basically for these students in the third grade that failed. We know how the industrial complex, they base building prisons around this country based on third grade scores. So basically, these kids that have gone through this so-called pandemic, and I'm tired of people using it as to why these children aren't learning. So again, somehow we got to get folks, you know, riled up to the fact that education matters, you know, and that's fundamental. That's basic. If we don't educate our kids, I mean, that's our hope. I mean, our grandparents and great-grandparents, and I can go on and on and on down through our legacies. That's all we knew. Get an education. But now the systems to be are preventing us systematically for getting a quality education. They are literally preparing us for prison. And we got to get excited. We got to get on board. And all of, you know, we just got to do what we got to do. Otherwise, we are facing a pandemic, epic pandemic, of students that are just going to be left free to do whatever. You know, either we educate them or we're going to knocking us in our head, robbing us or whatever. You know, I hate to go to that extreme, but what is it going to take for parents and business owners? I mean, they need an educated workforce, do they not? Where are they going to fill their factories and their businesses if we don't educate our kids? They're educating a select few, but again, our urban and rural students are becoming just an epic disaster when it comes to education.
Three questions.
I need help. We need to talk about this.
Three questions, Trustee. One, kind of give our listeners and viewers a little feel geographically where we at. Like Hammond, Indiana. What's it like? How far a distance is it?
Right, it's 7 miles from Gary, Indiana.
7 miles from Gary.
miles from Chicago.
That's what
right
okay. That's what I'm about to ask.
You know, my home, 7 miles from the state line of Illinois.
Okay.
So the proximity is there.
Okay.
That's where we are.
Okay. 30. Okay. Let me make sure my people are listening. Let me know if y'all can still hear me on Instagram, because once they call, I don't know if y'all can still hear me. Second question: what are some of the specific obstacles that you're dealing with? Like in other words, like in Chicago, some years back, they had these, like Renaissance 2010. These are some of the actual roadblocks, the agendas that was set up that had to be exposed, or or like under George Bush, former U.S. President George Bush, leave no child behind. Are there some certain programs, or is it certain like individual? What are the certain like obstacles or roadblocks that are hindering moving forward this education process? That's the second question. And third, whatever, how can people help in exposing them and challenging it?
That's the biggest issue, exposing them and challenging. You know, I live in a community where I'm told primarily our parents that live in the housing developments, they literally tell me, Ms. King, if I go to that microphone and say something, they're going to take away my food stamps, or they're going to take away whatever. And that's why we voted for you, because we know you're going to stand up for us. But again, I need folks at a board meeting to shame these folks, because when you have a board that is made up of one black, one Hispanic, and the rest are white, the superintendent is Republican, and 3 of the board members are Republican. So the mindset on that board is they don't give a darn. They don't care. And that's our biggest barrier. People not getting support from the community at large. And either they don't believe that means greasy. I hate to use that, but my grandma always say. But that's our biggest barrier. Getting people out, organizing. And every time I get close to that point of organizing, something gets in our way, and bam, the steam is just taken out. And, you know, my son had a T-shirt out for a while, which I would never wear it. I hate saying it. Black folks don't stay mad long. That's our problem. We get mad for a minute.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go sit down and let the elected officials or whoever do their job. So the barrier basically is ourselves. We're the biggest barrier. Because if we went to school board meetings or council meetings or what have you and voice our opinion, if these people won't be so quick to in your face do what they do. I have shared with every area within our community the data. I'm a data person. The numbers are horrific, deplorable.
Is it one?
And it just didn't happen tonight.
Yes.
Last night, finally got the results of our TSAT scores, our iReady scores, and you got 7 kids out of 300 or something that passed. Now, I mean, how simple can you make it? So you know somewhere in that number, your child is in that number who did not pass,
Yes.
who can't read and write. So that's the biggest barrier is ourselves.
But
What does Fannie Lou Hamer say in 1964? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So that's our biggest barrier in a nutshell. That answers 1, 2, and 3. We are our biggest barrier.
Well, let me go with the analogy. Okay. Like similar to like we challenge certain condition issue with the police in our community. We'll say like if it's a particular campaign, we get people mobilized, like the stop and frisk. But let's go with the Fannie Lou Hamer analogy. Fannie Lou Hamer was able, that when she went Atlantic City, Jersey, when they went march down there and down there to the Democratic convention, and even when Humphrey and Mondale, and they tried to get her to take 2 non-voting seats, that callous she used to help expose. She said all of us that marched for 2 seats. You know what I'm saying? All of us is tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. But that was the gut hitter, the hard hitter about that we didn't have they didn't have no representation down of Lowndes County, Alabama. Is a certain like hard hitter? I can like a certain agenda, a certain campaign that they have came with in the school that we can get people mobilized on, like making a bad word that they hear it. Like I don't know if it's a certain. I mean, we know all of it's atrocious. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something particular we can get people mobilized around to say challenge this particular piece of legislation, or this is the ball that put in the ball a major contradiction or attack that's hitting the children. It may be the searching policy. It may be the lack of funding. You know what I'm saying? Who can we target? Who can we expose? That's what I'm asking.
Well, mobilizing would be perfect. Money is not an issue. They have the money, but again, when they try to pat themselves on the back and say, "Well, we spent 20% of the $65 million towards loss of learning. So I said, show me the data. And then when I mean, I've been asking for that for months, but when I get the data, I see it spent on everything else but that. I mean, brick and mortar is fine, but it does not educate kids. You know, we need comprehensive programs. And the biggest thing, sir, is I do need mobilization of people to get them into the mindset that your child matters. Your child does not have to fail. And really, I hate, the children are failing. We are failing them. I keep reversing that. They're not failing. So mobilization would be key for Hammond, Indiana. If we can mobilize parents, get them to a school board meeting, and just, if I can get them in a room, if not to a school board meeting, somewhere prior to a school board meeting, if I can have a town hall meeting, but I have been beat down by these board members saying, well, once they say you can't go out there and say anything, you can't. Really? I'm an elected official. And for a minute, they had me thinking that once a decision is made, because it's always 4-1. You know, I'm always, it's always 4-1. I don't care what the situation is, it's 4-1 because I'm not voting. I'm not, putting my hand up and supporting that stuff. So mobilization is the key in Hammond, as I see it right now.
Okay.
Now, I might be missing something, and that's doable, but mobilization at this point, organizing, mobilization.
Is there a contact?
Getting people at the mind.
Is there?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Can you give us? Is it a contact?
So
Of people?
that's where I am right now.
Okay.
I just need help.
All right. Could you give us? Want to give out a
My contact number is 219 256 1770.
One more time, please.
219
Yes.
256
Yeah.
170.
Yes. Okay. And this is your name again, trustee.
Yes, sir. 219.
Your name again, trustee. Your name again.
Carlotta Blake King.
Right on.
Carlotta Blake King.
Okay.
Trustee Carlotta Blake hyphenated King, King.
Yes, indeed. Well, trustee,
African American that serves on the board.
you don't. That's wow. That's okay. That should be noted also. You the only African American on the board.
On the board.
Wow.
I'm going on my 5th year, and it's been hell. I'm sitting there expressing myself. They turn the mics out and walk out.
Let me ask you one.
I had a white man.
Let me ask you one last question. Are the board meetings are they online?
Yes, they are online. You can go back 5 years.
Okay. How can we see those?
YouTube, School of Hammond. You just go on YouTube.
And type
School
in.
City of Hammond board meetings, and you can see them.
Okay. So we're
You
gonna.
can watch last night.
Okay.
Fit into them.
Yes, indeed. We're gonna check it in, stay in contact with us again. It's Freedom Radio here every Wednesday. So we're gonna check those past board meetings out and keep us updated, please.
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Thank you very much. We live the record. Thank you. Right on. Freedom Radio, y'all making history, taking history, y'all. We're gonna get right into it. It's been a full day today. We did a press conference again. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we're going to let the brother introduce himself, you know what I'm saying? And I know we down to the closing minutes, but come on in with us, brother. Pull it your, yeah. See how you feel, my well, I know you still. I met the brother yesterday, and
I wanted to share this with you, by the way, because
see if they can see you right here. Scoot in with us, and introduce our listener. Who's your name?
So I'm Jonathan Strickland. I'm the man who got shot by Las Cruces police. I'm here with Brother Chairman. And I actually wanted to show you this because the city finally responded. I just realized that they updated this article about the lawsuit.
Since when?
It says it was updated like a few hours ago.
Wow.
So it says the city's attorney responds.
No.
Should I read it?
No. Okay, yes. No, I was seeing some. No, it's not a freak. We talking about the brother who was shot by the police. You're talking about this case right now. I just seen somebody put a question up there. I didn't know where the question came from.
So here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, the city's attorney finally responded.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Somebody called. That's why they can't hear.
Sorry.
No, that's not you. People, man. Okay, 1 second. It's not even you.
I appreciate all the support, by the way, seriously.
Oh, brother, man. We duty bound. Let me see. Get this back up. If I can put up a post, don't call on Wednesday, 6:30, 8:30. People still call in.
So
1 second, let a few people, your viewers get back in with us, y'all. Instagram, when y'all to come back in with us. Maybe they're trying to tap back in with us in a few minutes. So every time we get a style losing, okay.
brother, I know my attorney, 'cause he's on the flight right now, so I know I won't be able to see too much, obviously, 'cause pending litigation, but I definitely think it's important to read the response.
Before we go into response, I want to give a little context. The press, okay, because it's not even familiar. It's the basic of who you are. So I hope y'all listen in. And even I don't think there's no coincidence that this response happens all of a sudden.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy how the universe
And
works, right?
how the people work. You know what I'm saying? That right here, Las Cruces, New Mexico, March 11, 2021.
Yes, sir.
March 11, 2021. The vehicle, the video is posted. You're going to take on to the video can see that the truck was shot up over 100 times.
Over 90 times.
Over 90 times.
At least 90.
At least 90.
Confirmed.
90. So you know that they own records. Brother was shot up, handcuffed. The pictures of him are there. Y'all type his name in. I got him right. We got him right here with us right here. We did a press conference today, and it's breaking news. Breaking news. The city, their attorneys responded, and we don't think it's no coincidence. We had Attorney DeWitt Lacey, Attorney John Burris,
Julia Quesada.
Jacob Blake, the father. Jacob Blake, y'all from that case. Of course, myself and others came down. You know what I'm saying? Let the world know that we do what's happening down here, and the city been giving the runaround. And after he was shot, after he was shot, I don't want to draw no foregone conclusions. Y'all knew this. He was locked up. You know what I'm saying?
For over a year.
Over a year.
They helped me without bond for a case that was dismissed, and they're still trying to pursue charges in a case that, clear as day, my ex-wife admitted that she lied. There's no evidence. They're still prosecuting it. And the judge in my case for that criminal case used to be a Las Cruces police officer.
Wow.
So it's definitely a history of corruption here, and this city needs to be exposed. And I just want to thank my attorneys, Mr. DeWitt Lacey, John Burris, Ms. Julia Quesada, and also Ms. Victoria Lucero, because I know I'm absolutely in good hands, and I really appreciate all the support. I know I'll never be the same, but having support helps me at least try to get back on track. So thank y'all. I know I'm not allowed to say too much, but I really do appreciate you, Brother Chairman, and everybody else who's been here. And thank you again for coming out to New Mexico, and just thank everybody for the love and support.
Right on.
Really appreciate it.
Right on. We here. So y'all type his name in, see the video for yourself what occurred. Again, March 11, 2021. And you Google, there's an article from today, and also this breaking news about the city responding. And did you want to read that response?
Yes.
Okay.
So the city's attorney responds. So it says, 5 hours after the news conference, an attorney representing the city of Las Cruces responded to the allegations contained in the lawsuit. And their quote from Luis Robles, I guess the Albuquerque attorney who's representing the city, he said that my attorneys injected race and ethnicity into a case where it doesn't belong. He also went on to say that they're pushing back on the allegation that there was a culture of police brutality within Las Cruces Police Department. Instead, Luis Robles, the attorney for the city, argued that Strickland's actions during the chase immediately after led officers to believe that Strickland had a gun and planned to use it. But also, further on in the article, earlier on, it also confirms that I was indeed unarmed. That can easily be verified. So, like I said, I'm not allowed to say too much without my attorney, but this just sounds like a piss-poor excuse for police brutality, and it sounds like a pathetic excuse instead of taking accountability. The police officers need to be accountable. My ex-wife who lied needs to be accountable. They all need to be thrown in jail, and I really don't have much else to say, Chairman. I appreciate the support.
Said a lot, man. In fact, again, we say we coming. This is live and direct, and we do not take for granted that you are live and that you're able to be here. So we just appreciate you, being here. Appreciate the fact that you survived. Again, those who have seen that video footage, again, y'all go pull it up. Go pull it up.
Please share it, because they did this to an unarmed black person. They did this to an unarmed human being, but we are absolutely certain they did this because I'm black. How do you reload multiple clips and continue firing on an unarmed person, but you think that somehow they have a weapon? That's pathetic. It's evil. It's egregious, and I just hope that they're accountable, and I just hope that I can be able to be reunited with my children and just move on with my life and my family and put this terrible nightmare behind us.
Right on. We're going to try to get, like I said, turn to it. They in traveling right now. Get them online with us next week, so we can keep everybody updated with the court dates, whatever. The proceedings are happening with the case. Again, we live and direct, y'all. We've been moving and grooving. Did we miss anything?
I think that's it, Brother Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right on. Freedom All Radio, y'all. So that's your homework assignments, y'all. It's been a full episode. The spirit of making history, making history, taking history, taping history, y'all. Keep us posted, y'all. We will be every Wednesday. We have another caller?
We have another call in queue.
Okay, Sister Comrade.
Sister Rosalind Morris.
Okay. Welcome to Freedom All Radio. Hello? Anytime, bro. Hello, welcome.
Yes, my name is Rosalind Morris, and hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Okay. Hello. I'm following up about the Devonna Walker case out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
With the 29-year-old mother of three who was stabbed to death by her white supremacist neighbor, and the Cedar Rapids, Iowa Police Department did not arrest them that night. They haven't made any arrests, and the family is just really trying to get the story out there.
For those who just tuning in with us or may not be up to speed, I think we first was talking about this. I think it was 3 weeks ago. They about to leave. I want to holler you before I leave. Hold on, sister. Sit here. Yeah. Okay. I got you. I appreciate y'all, brother. Stay in contact. Right on, brother. Right on. Listen to this case right here, if y'all can. So y'all, this is Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Yes, sir.
Just give me about 2 minutes. I'll let y'all just hang around for 2 more minutes. Devonna Walker. This is a case in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I think it was 3 weeks ago. We get worried about this here, but we get updates now. So everybody, before everybody can tune in, and we go ahead, sister. I didn't mean to cut you off. If y'all can listen in, bring us back up to speed again. What's the status? What's happening?
Devonna was murdered a month ago on January 2nd. There still haven't been any charges filed. The district attorney, his name is Nick Maybanks. The number is 319-892-6350. He says that he's going to announce a decision at the end of. It's 319-892-6350. His name is Nick Maybanks. That's the district attorney. He said that he's going to announce at the end of the month first to Devonna's mother and then the public what he's going to do about filing charges against the neighbor. The neighbor is a known white supremacist. The neighbor is on the domestic violence registry in Cedar Rapids. The neighbor has a history of harassing his black neighbors and was kicked out of his old apartment complex. He's trying to say that it was stand your ground because I stand your ground state. And we're just trying to really get as much attention to this as possible so that we can put pressure on the Cedar Rapids DA before the end of this month when he says he's going to announce his decision to press charges because...
No, my phone says I'm telling you. I need y'all listen. Go ahead, sister. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm telling you, listen.
Because, like we were saying, if it was flipped and the white woman had approached Devonna and her male companion, and white woman had pushed Devonna down, and then Devonna's male companion instantly stabbed the white woman and killed her, he would have been arrested that night. They would have been arrested. Charges would have been filed. It was a hate crime. It was a racist murder and racism that's taken the DA so long to even do something to press charges. He released a statement where he made clear that he's been working with the Cedar Rapids police, that they're doing this and they're doing that, but that's not true. They're not making any progress. They say that they can't find witnesses to interview, but it was people out there who saw her murder. If you remember, it was caught on video and it's circulated online. People have seen it, so I'm not sure why he can't find a witness.
Also, let me ask you this also. We've been getting reports about people being receiving these arbitrary eviction notices out of their apartment and stuff that is retaliation. Just talking about what they've seen and witnesses. Have you heard anything about that down there?
I have not. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't heard that when after they killed Devonna that nobody knows where they went, and I mean I don't know where they are. There's the rumors that they're being hidden or protected. I don't know why, but it definitely seems like nothing's being done to them.
Mm-hmm. Give us that data.
Nothing would have been done to them if.
My fault. Is there any dates for before this decision comes down from the district attorneys? Is there any are there any calls for people? Mobilizations or people should call? Okay, I don't give that calling number again. Also, any on the ground mobilization? Anything happening down at Cedar Rapids that we should know about? No.
If people want to, we're also trying to get in contact with the Department of Justice to get them to look at the case, and also the FBI as it's a hate. So just in case we have to go above the city of Cedar Rapids, I would just suggest getting in contact with the Department of Justice and the FBI and turn it in as a hate crime to get them to look at it.
Okay.
This February the 12th, when Devonna's 30th birthday, left behind 3 children. She didn't even get to be 30. She did not deserve what happened to her. I don't care what anybody says about it being self-defense. It was not self-defense. He was not threatened. I also wrote a poem that my cousin wants me to read. This is in honor of Devonna Walker. It says, "I am not superhuman, and I'm certainly not." So
hold on, my sister.
If you cut me, I bleed. If you hurt me, I cry.
I just want.
I die. I do not have super strength. I can't kill you with my bare hands. My presence scares you, but that's just your projection, your reflection. My life has value and it has meaning as I was created by the Most High. I am His reflection. When I leave this earth, it matters. America should feel shame for the way it treats me, but it doesn't even understand the meaning. Not only am I human, flesh and blood, but I am God's child, sacred. If you do not recognize this, then you do not know Him, so don't you dare say His name. I too am flesh and blood, and I bleed America. And the family also wants me to mention that Devonna has a GoFundMe page. If you go to GoFundMe, you just have to put in her name, DEVONNA, Walker, WALKER, and it's for her 3 children.
We usually close out with some music or something. I want to close out with the poem you have one more time. First, I want you to tell us the significance of February 20th, And is there going to be any balloon releases, anything? And also, you said she has 3 children, correct?
Yes.
Okay, give me that. Okay, the GoFundMe one more time, and give me how old would she have been on February 20th? How old would she be? How would she be?
On February 12th, she would have turned 30 years old.
Oh, February 12th? You said February 12th?
Yes, the 12th.
Okay, my fault. I said the 20th. February 12th is her birthday. She would be 30?
30 years old.
Is there is there going to be a balloon release or something planned for her?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
I am in Mississippi.
Oh, okay. See if you can get. Do we got another show before the 12th? No. What's the date? Today is
the
what?
8th.
Oh, day the 8th. Do we come back on Wednesday before? See, okay. Let us know what's going on. February. Okay, she'll be 30 years old. Give me the GoFundMe information again, and we down to 2 more minutes. I want you to close out with that poem and give the GoFundMe information, any other social media contact updated with the case. But I want you to close out with that poem that's dedicated to Devonna Walker.
Okay, her GoFundMe, you just put in her name, Devonna Walker, DEVONNA, Walker, WALKER, and it should come up. I'm just trying to also plead to the public that if you know any lawyer or any type of lawyer that can help the family, can you get in touch with the family? You can even go to my Twitter page, type in Rosalind Morris, you'll see me. And we're just trying to doesn't need a lawyer, so the family really needs legal help. You can find me on Medium, you can find me on Twitter. Just type in ROSALYNMORRIS, or just try to contact me, please, if you have Bleed America. I am not
Dedicated to
superhuman,
Devonna
and I'm
Walker.
certainly not subhuman. Dedicated to Devonna Walker. I am not superhuman, and I'm not subhuman. If you cut me, I bleed. If you hurt me, I cry. If you stab me, I do not have super strength. I can't kill you with my bare hands. My presence scares you, but that's just your projection, your reflection. My life has value, and it has meaning. As I was created by the Most High, I am His reflection. When I leave this earth, it matters. I matter. America should feel shame for the way it treats me, but it doesn't even understand the meaning. Not only am I human, flesh and blood, but I am God's child, sacred. If you do not recognize this, then you do not know Him. So don't you dare say His name. I too am flesh and blood, and I bleed America. That's in honor of Devonna Walker.
Right on. We're gonna close with that. Sister Conrad, appreciate you so much. Make sure we get that call in. Those we missed, make sure y'all tune in, tap in with us next week again. Y'all, another episode of Free and All, making history, taking history, taping history. Live and direct from where we at?
Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Did this here, man. Keep your heads up, eyes on the fist clench, y'all. What's the call? Free and All. We usually close out a song. We gonna close out with that poem right there. Well said. They said it ain't broke, don't fix it, y'all. Just want to walk. Just for them all. John Strickland just for free them all. No, don't take us out.